Jessica is a woman of mystery. Not really, but we do want to get to know her better because this is her birthday week. So that's what we're doing this week on Castle Talk Radio.
You're listening to Castle Talk Radio. We're live on the airwaves with Becca and Jessica. Now let's jump into this week's episode.
Jessica, you just had a birthday. Happy birthday. We should have had like cupcakes with candles so we could celebrate together, even though we're in different cities. But,
Definitely.
you know, I think the next best thing is to expose all of your deep, dark secrets to the world.
All right. Ready to go.
All right. So, Jessica, first let's start with all your like business stuff, what you do here, just so people know where to find you. Where do you blog?
My website is the Happiest Blog on Earth, and that's just like a play on Disneyland's motto, the happiest place on earth. So over at the Happiest Blog on Earth, I have been writing about Disneyland for 11 years. And obviously, it's a passion of mine that started out as a passion for writing, really. I love writing. And I did freelance work before I made this into my full-time business.
Okay, and then really quick, what is your handle on Instagram so they can find you there?
It's at Jessica Happiest Blog on Earth.
All right, and we'll have that link down in the show notes. So you definitely need to follow Jessica because she does share her Disneyland tips on there as well. Since we know you because of your love of Disneyland and giving us helpful tips, what is your favorite ride at Disneyland?
It really changes all the time, but in general, the overall winner is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, another
what about when
close,
it's what about when it's Monsters After Dark?
No. I will purposely write it before it switches so that I can get my classic version and the playlist that I like.
You just went to Universal Studios Hollywood this summer. What was your favorite ride there?
Probably the Mummy, just because it's surprising. Like you go on it, it starts, and then you're like, oh, this is a thrill ride. This is great. And some little effects in there that make it extra fun. I really like that one.
Okay. Now we're going to go over to the East Coast, which we did the first time either of us went. We went together. And so what was your favorite ride at Walt Disney World? I already know the answer, but I want everyone else.
Can you remind me? Because I don't know what I would say exactly.
Oh my gosh. It's the same as at Disneyland, just a different ride, but it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was definitely the Cosmic Rewind. So it's also a Guardians theme, but man, that one is a party. It is so much fun.
Yeah, and it's intense. I remember you were one of the ones that actually didn't want to ride a second time because it was so intense. And it was almost lunchtime. So you're like, no, I need to eat. Okay. And then we also did Universal Studios Orlando together for the first time. What was your favorite ride there?
Okay, probably the big roller coaster. Is that
Velocicoaster?
Yes, that was so fun. And it's just so cool because people like in your group or whoever can watch you come down like the big drop. And we got some really fun like videos and photographs of our friends watching. It was really good time.
Yeah, I was one of the ones that took those videos and photos because of my motion sickness. And you represented in the front row, though, you and Leslie, our friend Leslie. Speaking of Universal Orlando, when we went, we have a whole story we shared, and I'll link the reel down in the show notes. But we were riding Hogwarts Express, and you mentioned Hagrid came on, and you were like, Hagrid's a guy? You had never watched or read Harry Potter. So the big question, have you read or watched Harry Potter yet?
No. And also, speaking of that attraction, you're on this ride and there's screens on the side. And so, like, when we got off, I'm like, so we're at the same place? Because, like, I'm used to that kind of trick, right? And they're like, no, we actually went somewhere else. And not only did we go somewhere else, it's a completely different park over in Orlando. So you're really moving, and you can't even get on it if you don't have a ticket to both parks. So that was cool to learn as well.
So if you aren't at a Disney property or other theme park on your vacation, where are you?
Probably in Hawaii or San Diego. Anywhere coastal is great. We've done Florida quite a few times as well, but like for where we are, it's just as far as Florida as Hawaii, and I prefer Hawaii. So definitely a beach gal. Love to have like a book and just sit out in the sun, and then also go in the water. I definitely love boogie boarding, body surfing. I'm gonna get in there and have fun too.
All right, that's good to know. Okay, moving away from travel, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Okay, this is funny, not biggest, but the top of mind because I thought of one that is so random that I put on our family whiteboard this week. Like, what's your most random pet peeve? Because it's not like tailgating or something that everybody kind of bugs everybody. So, random one that I notice about myself is I do not like when there is like kitchen trash in the bathroom trash can. So if I look in there and there's like a juice box, like oftentimes I'll pull it out because that bugs me. It just should be tissue, whatever's coming from the bathroom. I don't want like packaging and all this stuff in the bathroom trash can. Doesn't belong there.
Oh my
I can
gosh.
see you feel the same. That's why you're laughing.
Well, a little, just because I think it's really gross they're taking their food into the bathroom.
Yes, right? It's because like here's the end of this whatever, I'm finished and now I'm gonna throw it in there. But it's just such a pet peeve.
That's so funny. Okay, what or who, I guess, is your current favorite musical artist?
Man, I probably would say Mariah Carey. Like have loved her forever. Went to just one concert. Shoot, I should have been to more. And did see her at Disneyland in 2023. She was like 5, 6 feet away from me, and that was incredible. She is an icon.
I do want to point out one thing people might not know about you. You grew up in the Los Angeles area, right?
Mhm.
You like rap.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, having Snoop at the Olympics was amazing, but definitely give me Tupac, give me Biggie. I love my 90s hip hop, and I can hang with the new stuff as well, but I absolutely love it. That kind of vibe and culture is everything.
Okay, heading back to the parks where they sometimes play those artists at Food and Wine. But what is your favorite parade that you have seen at Disneyland? Of
Oh,
all the
magic.
Magic Happens. Okay,
Yeah.
I love that one, but not as much as
Yeah.
Paint the Night. And
Yeah.
it's just not
And
long
some
enough.
of it is to do with the music as well. Like I love that soundtrack and the memories that we made because we got to see it the first official and to see like the cast members who not only the people in the show, the performers who are incredible, then the cast members who worked on the show and the parade. And that's not something they normally do, but because it was a premiere, they were there and to be able to like share that excitement with them and tell them how much we love the show was really special.
Yes, definitely. All right. You're our resident foodie, so what's your favorite food at Disneyland?
Yes, being a foodie, I always think of it as like trying new things and trying like crazy things, but I am a creature of habit and like simple things again and again. So like my go-tos are definitely like chicken strips anywhere, especially because it kind of just like goes down easy and you're not like messing up with anything crazy. Hot dog. Burgers from Smoke Jumpers. Love Jolly Holiday. I could do the grilled cheese and tomato soup, but I almost always get breakfast from Jolly Holiday.
Yeah.
Um, if I'm trying something like more like out there for me, it's still not out there for a lot of people, but that would be stuff from like Cafe Orleans or like some of the fancier things at Carthay Circle.
Yeah. And I can attest to the Jolly Holiday. She gets breakfast there almost every time. I think one time I tried to get her to do Red Rose Tavern, and then the mobile order was already pushed out like an hour. So I was like, okay, I guess we're still doing Jolly Holiday. Okay, but when you're not at the theme parks, what's your favorite food at home?
It is religiously a smoothie every day, same recipe that I make every morning. For a long time, I was traveling with a blender and would order the groceries. Sometimes I'll get a smoothie at Jamba at downtown Disney. It's pretty kind of borderline scary how obsessed I am with my smoothies. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. All right. What is your least favorite part about traveling?
Probably delays and cancellations with airports. I mean, I had a great
one time coming back from Hawaii. So
yeah, I mean, and with how much I do travel, like it's inevitable, right? But having you and some other colleagues from our Disneyland with Kids group as like a resource, because when you're in those different situations, you tend to panic and you need other people who know what to do. And I would just say, like, if you have a flight that's significantly delayed or canceled and you need to get home, book yourself another flight on another airline and eat the cost, because it's probably going to get more expensive the longer you wait. So we've had to do that a few times, and it is a pain. Almost a little over a year ago, they had actually a hurricane in Southern California. We had some flights canceled. I spent about like $800 to get us home earlier. And that peace of mind sometimes just outweighs that wallet pinch. So booking like backups, especially since you're already paying like such a high fare, you might be able to book that refundable fare. So just a little tips for you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw someone else's story out there. Kim from Getaway Today, she recently went on the newest Royal Caribbean, like their launch cruising, and they had that massive outage when she came back that took down almost every airline, and like other, like Google and everything wasn't working well. When she was flying Delta, and they kept pushing it farther and farther, and she had the thought to book a Southwest because they were not affected the first day, but then she was like, oh no, we'll get on the flight tomorrow, I'll be fine. And by the time, like, they're like now 3 days later, Southwest was booked completely out a whole week from other people doing that, and they ended up renting a car to drive home from Florida to Utah. So definitely. And I remember one of the times you were on the flight when you got the notification, and I was able to call in for you and be able to work on getting you a different flight. So yeah, it's great to have those people on backup, and then just make sure you have a way to get a hold of them, whether it's buying the internet on the plane or whatever. Because if you can get a hold of them while you're still in the air, that's going to put you ahead of it. So yeah. All right, Jessica, last question I have for you today. If someone were to just read one article on your website to help them plan a Disneyland vacation, which article should it be?
It would definitely be the Start Here article. It just kind of outlines everything you need to know to get yourself moving in a Disneyland vacation mode.
Which is different than your Start Here page, which has links to a bunch of articles. But that article
the Start Here page. So right on top is like the top 25 tips. That's the actual title of it. And that'll get you going.
All right. Well, it's been fun. I even learned a couple new things about you. And so I'm excited that we did this. Hope you had a great birthday, and we'll get to celebrate you again next year, hopefully.
Yes, let's do it. Thanks, Becca.